whatever y'all got.
It shouldn't be.
I'll rock with the spirit. Whatever the spirit leads. Let's go with it.
It's supposed to rotate. Auto rotate on. Oh, it does that from time to time. Let's try it again. Jacob's Trouble.
Yep, you can do that, or basically us being persecuted. However y'all want to roll.
Yeah, with the spirit roll, we gotta start there. That's cool. What you have, man?
Yeah, like I said, I'll go in the spirit. So whatever brother's got, let's bring it out. Let's go from there.
Shalom. Okay. Ready to go live.
Got the Trump, big beautiful bill too.
Yeah. What's that?
Trump's big beautiful bill.
Oh, it passed?
Yeah, it passed.
Yeah. We knew that was happening.
I'll close it.
All right. You ready?
Yeah.
Yep. All right, Shalom. We are the Hebrew Israelites from the Indianapolis branch of the Great Millstone. We're here to give all glory, honor, and praises to Yahweh, Hashem, Yahushai, Hashem, Akakodash. Double honors to our apostles and elders of the Great Millstone who rule well and teaching us this 100% truth. Salutations to them and our fellow Akim who labor in this truth week in and week out on the highways and byways. Also salutations to the hopeful elect of the scattered 12 tribes of Israel, scattered to the four corners of the earth that be like it to the speckled bird, also known as your Israelite foreigners and your so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. To you, we say Shalom.
Shalom.
All right, just get right into it.
Alright, this is article from Newsbreak. Alright, it says, Kilmar Abrego Garcia was tortured in Salvadorian prison, court feeling alleges, like it. It says, Kilmar Abrego Garcia, the Maryland man who was wrongfully deported to El Salvador and detained in one of that country's most notorious prisons, was physically and psychologically tortured during the 3 months he spent in Salvadoran custody, according to the new court documents filed Wednesday. All right, and we're in the time of Jacob's trouble. All right, so basically, hey, things is about to get worse for you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, the ones who have despised the words of Yahweh Shemel Shah. You got it.
Yep, this is Ezekiel chapter 7, starting at verse 5. It says, Thus saith the Lord, Yahweh by Hashem Yahushai, and evil, and only evil, behold, is come.
So, hey, within the prophecies, all right, hey, only evil is coming, bad times, all right, especially basically for the whole world, but especially for you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans who have rejected Yahweh Shemel Shah. All right, evil is only coming. All right, so that's why we're out here, you know, telling you to get right with Yahweh Shem Yahushua, to repent, you know. Was that it on that?
Last verse 6, it says, "An end is come, the end is come, it watcheth for thee, behold, it is come."
Yep, behold, it is come. All right, yeah, we're here. All right, we're here where Yahweh Shem Yahushua, his words are speaking. All right. So basically, these judgments they're about to amp up. All right. And if you're in the spirit of you know, just thinking that America's gonna prevail over, you know, this little this calamity that Yahweh Shem Yahushua is putting America through, you're through. You know, you're gonna be caught up in these horrible judgments that Yahweh Shem Yahushua is about to send.
Yep.
You know, as the scriptures say, you know, for horrible is the end of a righteous generation. You know, hey, these wicked niggas, hey, they're about to get it. You know, because they have despised Yahweh Shem Yahushua. Precept.
This is 1 Peter 4:17. It says, "For the time has come that judgment must begin at the house of Yahweh Shem Yahushua. And if it first begin at us, what shall the end be of them that obey not the gospel of the Most High?"
Yes. So what shall it be? What shall it be for the ones that don't even try at all? It's gonna be horrible for them, you know. The judgment is gonna start with, you know, the ones that know that, you know, that we're Israelites. All right. Hey, niggas that, you know, that don't profess the true name of Yahweh Shem Yahushua, they're gonna end up in these, you know, in these camps, you know, being tortured, you know.
Or dropped out of an airplane.
Yeah, dropped out of an airplane. Yeah.
Shackled.
Yep.
And in verse 18 it says, "And if the righteous scarcely be saved, where shall the ungodly and the sinner appear?"
Yeah, the righteous are the ones that have been trying for Yahweh Shem Yahushua. You know, the ones that have been attempting to please Yahweh Shem Yahushua. You know, they're gonna scarcely be saved. All right, so how much more for the ones that haven't been trying? You know, they're gonna be. Hey, that's a terrible lot to be in right there. You know, because the Lord, He has held His peace for a long time. All right, and now he's ready to pour out these judgments. All right.
Yeah.
Precept.
Yeah. This is the book of Jeremiah.
No, you go. Yeah.
It was the book of Jeremiah, chapter 30, beginning in verse 5, and it reads, "For thus saith Yahweh Shem Yahushua, we have heard a voice of trembling, of fear, and not of peace."
Start 4.
Jeremiah chapter 30, verse 4, and it reads, "And these are the words that Yahweh Shem Yahushua spake concerning Israel and concerning Judah."
So the whole 12 tribes, so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. Got it.
It says, verse 5, "For thus saith Yahweh Shem Yahushua, we have heard a voice of trembling, of fear, and not of peace."
Yep. Hey, that's what the Lord is coming with. All right, we're out there professing, you know, the prophecies. All right, Jacob's trouble. All right, that it said. Right, just keep on reading about the show.
Okay. It says, verse 6, "Ask ye now, and see whether a man doth travail with child. Wherefore do I see every man with his hands on his loins, as a woman in travail, and all faces are turned into paleness."
Yeah, hey, keep on going.
Okay. Verse 7 says, "Alas, for that day is great, so that is none like it. It is even the time of Jacob's trouble, but he shall be saved out of it."
Yep, a time of Jacob's trouble. All right, said none is like it. All right, no historic tragedy, the flood. All right, it's not going to be able to compare to this day. All right, it said a man travailed, basically like a woman. Hey, these men out here that think that, you know, they're, you know, all, you know, big and bad. Hey, they're going to be as women in them times. All right, the Lord, hey, Yahweh Shem Yahushua, he's basically, he got his sword, which is Esau, Edom, the so-called white man, basically, what's that one? Ezekiel, when they say, well, should we then make mirth?
21.
Yeah. You know, it said it is sharpened to make a sword slaughter. So Esau, he's out, hey, he's doing what he got to do. He's, you know, he got all these, damn, let's see, he got,
Lasers?
yeah, lasers.
Devices.
Oh, they got a robot now that can fly and you know shoot fire out of his arm.
Mega Man.
Yeah, Mega Man. Yep. What's some other shit? They got
Drones.
Drones. Alligator Alcatraz.
Robot dogs.
Yep,
Robot
robot
dogs.
dogs that's breaking scales. You know, they're breaking the what's some scales called to see how fast you're going basically.
Speedometer.
They're breaking. You know, a robot dog was on the treadmill. He broke the scale. You know, so Esau got some shit for you. You know, for you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. And ultimately, it's the Lord. All right, because you have despised. You know, the words of Yahweh Shemel Shah.
Hey, shit, that Black Mirror episode called Metalhead, when robot dog was chasing the whole episode. Shit, man, that's coming. Talking about that fucking dog, man. It ain't stopped till all three of them was dead. And then the end shows you that it wasn't just that one robot dog; it was multiple. Just wait.
This is Ezekiel chapter 21, verse 8. It says, again the word of the Lord came to me, saying, Son of man, prophesy and say, Thus saith the Lord, Yahweh Shem Shai, say a sword sharpened and also furbished.
Yep. And who is the sword? Esau, even the so-called white man. All right, and they're perfecting, you know, their, you know, basically, because they understand that their time is about to be up. So guess what? They're about to unleash all hell on you tribes out here. All right, so they're perfecting, you know, these robots. What did Elon Musk say? He got a legion of robots. You know.
Yeah, Legion is I think 3,000 to 5,000, or sometimes 7 at the highest. Yeah.
It says, verse 10, it says, It is sharpened to make a sore slaughter, it is furbished that it may glitter. Should we then make mirth? And contempt the route
I
of my
was
son?
gonna say this too. Yeah, so the Lord put the spirit on him to use that shit. That shit gonna be used. Read that part again.
It says, It is sharpened to make a sore slaughter.
It is sharpened to make a sword slaughter. When you sharpen the sword, you perfected it. You want that motherfucker to be as sharp as possible. But that's what Esau doing with all this weaponry. And when we see it, they had it for 20, 30, 40 years.
Right.
So what we seeing, they already been perfecting on it already. Whatever it is, any type of technology, whatever, the public is 20 to 30 years behind. Like, remember when the first Iron Man came out, all that shit?
Yeah.
Doing all that shit, man, they doing all that shit already.
Right.
He grabbing shit and bringing it out and throwing it over here and all that type of shit, man.
It is sharpened to make a sore slaughter, and is furbished that it may glitter. Should we then make mirth? And contempt the rod of my son as every tree.
And yeah, and the Lord gave us, you know, the eyesight to see, you know, what this man is up to, why he's doing the things that he's doing on earth. All right, and we're coming to warn you. All right, to tell you, hey, don't be in the spirit of mirth, you know, just all happy, you know, just trying to party it up. You know, don't do that, because guess what? You're not going to build up. It's like you're not going to build up yourself, you know, for these dangerous times that's about to befall this earth, you know, befall America, you know.
Verse 11, it says, And he hath given it to be furbished, that it may be handled. This sword is sharpened, and it is furbished to give into the hand of the slayer.
Of the slayer, you know, this man Esau, even so-called white man, he loves blood. All right, so he's about to, you know, basically just fuck up, you know, these so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, and the Lord is gonna allow it. You know, the Lord's gonna allow you niggas to get tortured to death. You know.
Precept.
I got something as well.
You got it.
Okay, fine. This is 2nd Ezra chapter 16 and verse 19. It says, Behold, famine and plague and tribulation and anguish are sent as scourges for amendments. All right. And if you look up, and the reason why I brought this out is because in that article that you brought out, you said the guy was suffering mentally and physically, and the word anguish, it means to suffer. It means to suffer bodily or mentally. All right. So a lot of these famine, plagues, tribulation, a lot of these people, the Lord is gonna touch you physically, but He's also gonna give you a way to actually suffer mentally. You know, a lot of people have these with drugs and they comfort foods and shit they can use to cushion the blow. But the Lord is getting rid of all that. All right. The scripture says, what, they should not drink wine with a song, or with a song,
God.
you know, and what a lot of these, what a lot of the pharmakia, what the Lord's gonna basically have his hand in all that and cut all that off. So what the Lord is basically making it where you're gonna have to force, to deal with reality.
Yeah.
You see, so you ain't gonna be able to go and what, drink your problems away, smoke your problems away, eat the food that makes you feel better.
Comfort
all right,
food.
comfort food, because it was a study done where when the brain is put up under traumatic stress or really heavy stress, it looks for certain ways to comfort itself. You know, like when you lose your car or your girl break up with you or something happy and your brain really don't know how to cope with it, your brain starts to look for other things. Like, all right, well, shit, just go chill with the boys, go drink with some boys, or play a game a little bit, or go home and relax or whatever. It tries to find some way to comfort itself. But right now we're coming to a time where the Lord is doing away with the comfort, where now you got to just sit there and deal with it. You see, you ain't gonna be able to get away from reality. All right. It says, verse 20, it says, but all these things they shall not turn from their wickedness, nor be mindful. I'll skip the part. It says, and sent for scourges of amendments, right, man? And it's really sent because what? All these people, the whole entire world has sinned against the Lord. You see? So what? It has to pay for that. The Lord requires a sacrifice. He requires some type of because when you amend for something, you have to basically to make something that's right. All right. So if I did wrong to Barzal, and Barzal, well, you got to give me an amendment. You have to do something to make me make me feel better.
An eye for an eye.
An eye for an eye. So the Lord is putting the world through this thing to make amends with it.
Precept.
Like we always say, what? Now you're better off dead, because now you can't see it no more.
Yeah.
You was gonna say something?
It goes back to what you were saying, that Jeremiah 30 and was it 6 or 5 when it said all faces are turned to paleness. Yeah, paleness means basically frightened.
Yeah.
When you look at that word, you like, damn, you look like you seen a ghost.
Yeah.
Everybody gonna look like they seen a ghost in that thing.
Even in the cartoons, when they get scared, they become like really white.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Just like says Lucas, is what men's hearts failing them for the things that are coming on earth.
I just want to read something real quick just to jump in. Wisdom of Solomon 17 and 12. Because you said everybody got to be faced with reality. It says, for fear is nothing else but a betraying of the succors which reason offered. So everybody's gonna, like, a succor is basically like a staple, right? It's something that gives you reassurance, right? Then you said that when things happen, the brain looks for other things. It looks for other reassurances. But what's gonna bring that great fear is that you ain't gonna have that. It's just gonna be reality. It's just gonna, like Ezekiel 7 says, evil and only evil. Right? Isaiah 21, it says, famine, that's Ezra. But it just speaks about men shall be driven to darkness. So it ain't gonna be no light at the end of the tunnel for the majority of these people.
Even in I think it's what a book Isaiah says. Proverbs, where it says they shall look out the window and there should be darkness.
Ecclesiastes.
Which means what? No hope. They ain't gonna be able to see nothing. It's not gonna be what they say. Oh, it's
Light at the new tunnel.
not light into the tunnel, but the grass.
Grass is green.
Yeah, grass is green on the other side. It ain't gonna be that. They gonna look like, damn, we're fucked. There ain't gonna be no ray of sunshine, no ray of hope. They have to come to terms like, damn, this might be our end. Which it is.
Yep.
That same chapter speak about job loss too. And right now, there's
the grinding will cease.
the grinding ceasing because there are few. And right now we see the grinding ceasing, and it's crazy because right now we are, the Lord got us surviving in the midst of this chaos, which that's Isaiah 65 coming up like, and that's gonna be even more when all hell really fully break loose. So even right now, because a lot of people losing their fucking jobs right now in masses. You look at it, job loss is crazy right now. From tech on down to the lowest, job, factory job, whatever. But everybody losing their jobs. And I was talking to Specklebird Jake in the store yesterday, and he was goddamn saying that they snatching land tribes off the fucking jobs, construction jobs. And these
And the
land
house is
tribes,
rotten. The house is rotten.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And these land tribes, the men they snatch off the job, they make them like 30-something, 40-something dollars an hour. They citizens and everything, but they still round them up and just taking them over to deport them and shit. So
They got Julio. No, was it?
The band boxer.
They got the boxer,
what's one, senior or junior?
Junior.
Junior.
Julio Cesar Chavez.
Yeah.
Yeah. Julio Cesar Chavez
Snatches
Jr.
They got him.
After the fight,
Yeah, basically.
he just
fought.
fought.
He fought along the ball.
They just got his ass.
he just fought.
I ain't laughing at it, but the irony
Jake
of it.
Paul, that's what he fought. Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah. So when we was talking, it's like I was like, you're gonna backfire on the construction jobs. He's like, yeah, because at some point you're gonna have what the scripture speak about that in 2 Edges 15. All right, somebody grab that. Is that
Something about
verse 15 to 16?
They're not gonna.
Yeah, the guard kings or princes,
Yeah, I got you.
which
Yeah.
it goes to the civil unrest.
I was gonna say, if those are commercial buildings that they taking them off of too.
Downtown.
That's gonna be a huge stir up with those owners, because commercial buildings, they have a schedule. They're looking at, first week's return, first month return, annual returns, and every quarterly, every time you throw that off because of a delay in construction, somebody's getting pissed.
What are those like returns, like with bonuses?
No. If it's a building that's, let's say if it's a restaurant, and it's like a chain. If you build a restaurant that's supposed to open on a certain date, okay, they have projected sales.
Right.
Profits for that. And the thing is, let's say if it's a McDonald's, the owner operator's rent is based off those sales. So every time it's delayed, he's losing money, and it's going up.
He's like losing no money.
Yeah, he or she is losing money. Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, before we grab that, what you call?
2 Edges 15.
Grab them other scriptures y'all call first. Them other precepts, because that's the second as we probably gonna be in there for.
Yeah, so.
This is Second Ezra chapter 8 and verse 50.
That's the spirit.
It says, "For many great
That's
miseries."
what you had to.
It says, "For many great miseries shall be done to them that in the latter time shall dwell in the world, because they have walked in great pride."
And great pride, the pride starts when you depart from Yahweh Shemel Shah. All right. And us out there on the highways and byways giving you the way to basically for the Lord to deal with you. We're telling you to repent. All right, and you despise it. Guess what? Now you're walking in great pride. All right. So guess what? You're gonna be great miseries is gonna come to you. You might see it. You might have to eat your own child. And then lose a limb. All right. And this is just little stuff. This is just my mind. Who knows what Yahweh Shemel Shah is thinking for you? That was it on that.
Yeah, and you said for the beginning of the pride is when men depart from their maker. And the reason why they depart is because of the pride of life. Housing, success, goals. But Yahweh told us, he said, look, this is what all the Gentiles seek after. Think not about what you're gonna eat and how you're gonna clothe. He said that's what the Gentiles worried about. And that's why people done departed from the Most High. 'Cause the little motherfucking trinkets that Esau put out there.
I got something right quick if I could. This is Wisdom of Solomon 13:10. It says, but miserable are they, and dead things is their hope, whom call them gods, which are the works of man's hands. Gold, silver, is showed art in, and resembles beast of stone, good for nothing, for works of ancient hands. So miserable, is what the ones that you be calling these false idols gods. Like the brother was going into, like these trinkets Esau throws out there. People worship everything. You can fucking worship a pair of shoes in this place. So what? The Lord calls these people minds is miserable. Who's what? It says whose dead things they hope in. You know, these people hope in what? They car, they 401k, they college degree, things that is dead, huh?
Status.
Status. You know, these is what this is what the average day people put up. Oh, what college did you go to? What degrees do you have? How many languages can you speak? And this and then all fucking vain shit. You know, but none of that stuff is gonna be able to save them. You know, the Lord called them miserable. See?
And them niggas be miserable.
Yeah, bro. Yeah, because that's the only thing they really have to boast on. You actually talk to that person, he miserable inside. You know, that's what majority of them people they commit suicides once they lose all that shit.
Yep.
And a lot of them, even when they in their success, they be on like those psycho meds.
Yeah.
Like brothers who in like that little corporate world y'all amongst. Like my boy who be amongst them. I grew up with him. He in that field. And everybody's shocked that he don't do it, like his colleagues.
Right.
Like, what? You know, how are you in this feeling? You're not like, cause all of them on some type of antidepressant or something.
Yeah, all fucking tense and you know, that's just like everything. Like, God damn, it's just a job, you know. You know, but see us because we got Yahweh Shemel Shai.
We got the comforter.
We got the comforter.
Yeah.
So shit, we in these meetings and shit, just like They be thinking it's the greatest thing since sliced bread, you know, but
It's like white bread.
right.
What's up?
Go ahead, was you finished?
Message.
You was reading.
That's it. That's it.
Alright.
Second 15. Or so like, can I bring this article again?
Was it more in the article or you read
Just
it
a
all?
little bit more.
Okay, kind of go ahead.
It says, this is basically what he had to go through while being tortured. It says, while being held at the so-called terrorism confinement center in El Salvador, Abrego Garcia and other 20 other men were forced to kneel from approximately 9 p.m. to 6 a.m. according to the court papers filled by his lawyers in the federal district court in Maryland. And it says, guards struck anyone who fell from exhaustion while kneeling, and during that time, Abrego Garcia was denied bathroom access and soiled himself, according to the filling. So it's, you know, it's getting terrible out here, you know, and this is light, you know, compared to what's really about to come. All right, this still is light, you know.
Yeah, sensory deprivation is like different forms of torture. Like from what is that? From 9 p.m. to 6. First of all, you're supposed to be asleep.
Yeah.
Right.
You know, and then sometimes like even sometimes when you go to jail, like if you ever been to jail, they got the fucking lights on. You don't know what time it is. There ain't no sun. They just got the fucking light on.
No lights. No windows. I mean.
Yeah, no windows. You just keep you discombobulated. You know, there's a lot of different little torturous shit. It's physical shit, mental shit, combination of both. You know, then it demean you. Can you imagine a grown ass man and you go to the bathroom on yourself? It ain't like you got a condition, you're incontinent or you guys. No, you perfectly normal, fine, but due to that's the devil though, man.
Hey, that only happened, you know, that happens to a wicked individual though. A wicked individual ends up in a predicament like that, you know, to where he's just shitting and peeing on himself, you know. Lord, or just allow him to endure that mental and physical torture.
Precept. You know they knees is on that concrete. There ain't no pads under there.
But that's just a prelude of what's going to happen to the average day American.
Yep.
You know.
Yeah.
When you say it was light, that ain't gonna be nothing. You got people out here. You know, you might have people. Shit, you walk around and seeing actually people eating dead bodies.
Yeah.
You know, people are gonna be bugged out of their mind. You know. You get hit with madness.
How that saying go? When people lose it, when
people have nothing to lose,
they lose it.
Yeah.
Yep. Even Joker said that in Dark Knight. He said these civilized people. He said when the chips are down, they'll eat each other.
The chips are down.
Physically and mentally. You know, I mean, physically, figuratively, and the other one. I don't know. Literally. Yeah, literally.
God.
You know.
Yeah, like you was going into the elder and shit. Cannibalism, they ain't nothing new. That's been here like throughout all the generations.
Mm-hmm.
You read about it in temptations, right? The woman was eating their young ones. Shit, the same shit was happening during the Roman Empire. You see, so just how much more, right? When Jacob's trouble was full blown scale, the scriptures say at a time like never before. So from since the beginning of history all the way to now, what's getting ready to come is gonna be like nothing up.
Hannibal Lecter.
Go ahead, appreciate it.
Yeah, I had some. This Psalm chapter 17, verse 13. It says, "Arise, O Lord, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, disappoint them, cast them down, deliver my soul from the wicked, which is thy sword." You know, and ultimately, who's the wicked? Esau, even so-called white men, according to Malachi 1 and 4. And ultimately, that's who the Lord, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, mainly used to punish us as a nation. You see, all the heathen nations have had a hand in the affliction of the children of Israel, but the main oppressor, all right, for us is who? Esau, even so-called white men. You see, so when the time we coming into, our prayer is that what the Lord Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai delivers us from His sword. See, because it was brought out in Ezekiel 20, first chapter, that the Lord, He's sharpening that sword and has given it to the hand of the slayer. Right, the slayer being who? Esau, even the so-called white man. You see, so brothers are constantly, going into it, man. All right, the devil is getting ready to come down with great wrath. You see, which is why it behooves you so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans to repent and get right with Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. All right, at least you suffer the wrath of the Lord on the left-hand side.
Precept.
I gotta bring this out real quick. Speaking of the cannibals, was July 1st. It said SITDOWN, which is the Homeland Security Secretary, claims the U.S. government tried to deport a cannibal from America, but the immigrant was so deranged he began eating himself on the plane.
Damn.
Yeah, he was on his way to the Alligator Alcatraz facility. Yeah, so they had to get him medical attention.
Sure.
You know.
But it is kind of,
know,
it is
man.
cannibals in recent like history too.
Yeah.
Like it's cannibals in America. This motherfuckers been convicted of cannibalism and all type of shit. So
But yeah, I get what you're saying.
yeah,
She said they said literally ate his own arms. So that's what
because once you start eating,
Right.
look, Jake gon' look. It's gonna be cannibals. I don't know if brother seen the video a couple years ago from the elder Amouan Gabar. This was a video with like an employee. He talking to like an employee. I guess they close enough to be in the car and talk to each other.
Yeah.
And so he had to record the conversation. Like the employee knew he was being recorded. He's like, "No, I gotta record this." He said, "Now say that shit again." He said, he a human. Like they was talking because he can see like shit about to hit the fan.
Yeah.
And he was like, "Yeah, man." She said, "Yeah, man. If I got to, I ain't gonna go hungry."
Yeah.
And then, like niggas laughing and everything. And then the elder said something. He was like, "Look, once you eat human flesh, you can't come back from that." Like this shit, like when you see that shit do something to your mind, to your brain. Like you said,
Right.
nigga was so deranged shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, that shit do something to you.
Yeah.
Remember Book of Eli, the shakes and shit.
Yep.
And then you remember when Hillary Clinton was running. Remember she kept falling and shit.
Yep.
Remember she would fall kind of weird and
Yeah.
shit. It was kind of like typical signs of like a motherfucker who done dabbled in too much adrenochrome.
Yep.
Because it's like little signs, I think it's called kudzu. It's some type of disease you get, and it's basically your ass be shaking and you be falling.
Oh.
I forget what it started with a K though. And it comes from, the consumption of flesh, human
Yeah.
flesh.
Well, no, I was going to say that's eerily similar to mad cow disease back in the 90s, early 90s. They were eating.
Oh yeah, cows eating other dead cows.
Eating
Yeah.
other dead cows, and they would have that
They would have the
same
symptom.
thing.
Yep, start shaking and falling over and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. All right. This is the book of Romans, chapter 13, verse 4, and it reads, "For he is the minister of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai to thee for good. But if thou do that which is evil, be afraid. For he beareth not the sword in vain. For he is a minister of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, a revenger to execute wrath upon him that do evil." All right. He read Psalms 17:13. The wicked who is thy sword. Okay, so he is on the behalf of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai to do exactly what he's supposed to do. exact vengeance, especially on you 2/3 Jake. All right, and he does not bear the sword in vain. That's what it's for. The devil and he who comes after the working of Satan are doing exactly what they're supposed to be doing, and that he is Esau, Edom, the so-called white man. All right, the wicked, according to Malachi 1:4.
I found that it's called Kuru.
Yeah.
Cool.
It says the most well-known and significant disease associated with consuming flesh, particularly brain tissue, is Kuru.
Mm.
Kuru is a rare and fatal infectious disease affecting the nervous system caused by infectious misfolded proteins called prions. These prions accumulate in the nervous system and lead to brain degeneration, leaving it with the sponge-like appearance.
Damn.
These people gonna be all the way, messed up because they, in the midst of that, they're gonna be, famished. So it's gonna hit worse. It's gonna hit worse.
Here we go a little more. It says symptoms, early stages, tremors, unsteady gait, which they call ataxia, and impaired coordination. Progression stages, increased frequency and intensity of tremors and unsteady gait,
Now you shaking forever. Constantly shaking.
muscle jerks, pain in extremities,
Twitching and shit.
huh?
Muscle jerks, twitching and
Uh-huh.
shit.
Difficulty walking and swallowing, slurred speech, headache, emotional instability, uncontrollable laughter. And you see some of these symptoms in the elites,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
some of the older ones.
Yeah.
When it said slurred language,
Mm-hmm.
made me thought of what we used to call him Biden.
They made me think about it. They made me think about
I
it too.
forgot what we used to call him though. Something.
Sleepy Joe.
Sleepy Joe. Yeah, Sleepy Joe.
You said a
Papa
brain,
was a real bad boy, huh?
brain with a sponge-like appearance.
Uh-huh.
That's a lot of holes.
Those are real zombies.
Yeah.
Think about it.
You need to look at a sponge. All the holes are in it, all over the place.
Mm.
Shit.
Cool.
Just like how certain drugs can have an effect, on your brain. It's same with cannibalism. That'll literally, change your physical body, man. You have a bunch of demons on you, man.
It mentioned Mad Cow in here too. Come on.
I got that. This is just to back up that Romans 13:4, where it said, he is a minister of the Most High, makes you wrath for him to do evil. This is Psalms 125 and verse 3. It says, for the rod of the wicked shall not rest upon the lot of the righteous, lest the righteous put forth their hands into iniquity. See, so ultimately, if you're doing the will of Yahweh Bashim Yahushua, rehearsing the righteous acts of the best of the ability and separating yourself from iniquity, then really, man, you ain't got nothing to worry about.
Mm-hmm.
All right, the only time you have something to worry about is if you step away from doing good and start doing evil, doing things that's contrary to the law, statutes, and commandments of Yahweh Bashim Yahushua. You see, that's why the scripture said in Sirach,
Precept.
the 40th chapter, where it said these judgments, for paraphrasing, they were created for the wicked. You see, so as long as we do what we got to do for the Lord, man, we ain't got nothing to worry about.
God.
I got something right quick. Let me get this. This is Amos chapter 3, verse 2. It says, you only have I known of all the families of the earth. Therefore will I punish you for all of your iniquity. All right, basically, that's sliding right into what Amwan was going into. A lot of these plagues and things that we're going to see happen to these people is because what? They departed from the Lord and they chose not to come back, The Lord gave them the chance to what? Via us, the brothers, out there making the videos, give them the way to come back and see how much shot. But what? They choosing not to. They said, nah, we the crazies, we the lames, we the nobodies. Matter of fact, it was crazy. I was on social media live a couple well, not me personally, I was just scrolling. I was on social media live a couple days, matter of fact, it was today actually. And I hit on one person live and they just randomly talking about the Hebrew Israelites. Talking about like, oh yeah, I don't know, what's wrong with those guys? They're this and that and just throwing certain things. And And I'm just listening to them, just basically just listening to them what they talk about, and they just like, yeah, we just like, I'm glad a lot of people are starting to ignore them, not giving them attention and stuff, you know. So I'm listening to them. I was like, I want to get on there so bad and comment, but I was like, you know what?
Yeah.
No, because I you know what, just like y'all said years ago, you know what? No, I want them to be just like that.
Yeah.
You know, be just like, so when the Lord really hammer down on you, you ain't gonna have no excuse, you know, because they acknowledge us, they know we're there, but when the Lord really start hammering this place, when the Lord really start really punishing, especially our people, they gonna realize, damn, maybe them guys was right, maybe what they were saying was true. You see? So what the Lord said, I'm gonna punish you, you know, like I think we already brought it out. It says judgment shall begin at the house of the end.
Yep.
You know, so hey, a lot of he was just the beginning, man. You see a lot of our people getting fucked up, you know. And like I don't feel sorry for Jake, man. I don't feel sorry for none of them.
Nope.
You know, let it happen.
They can ignore us all they want to, because the Lord told us to teach whether they hear or they forbear.
Yeah.
See, all we know is, man, we got the blood off our hands because we did what the Lord told us to do.
And also, we're not out there for them. You know,
Yeah.
we're not out there for them. So if you see us, and we talk, listen, y'all part of the elect, like Apostle Rakas said, man. Listen, if you ain't part of the elect, man, to hell to you.
Yeah.
You know, we just there to seal you.
Yeah.
You know, if you're 2/3, you get the chance to come back after you reject, because you're gonna reject, because 2/3 is gonna reject, because just like how 1/3 is destined to be redeemed, 2/3 is destined to be destroyed.
Yeah.
You know, there's nothing we can do about that. It's already elected, it's already chosen, it's already sealed. You know, we just got a job to do.
That's right.
Brothers got to go ahead.
Okay, just want to back up on right quick. This is Proverbs 16:7. It says, when a man's ways please Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, he maketh even his enemies to be at peace with him. So, you know, we doing what we're supposed to be doing. You know, that, you know, it is, what was it, a situation where Esau really wanted to do something bad to this Jake, but he couldn't. So I really want to shoot you, but I can't.
Right.
You know, and you know, God, you know, call on name, or Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, you know, and but yeah, that's the thing. We do what we're supposed to be doing. Like you said, you know, he gonna fight for us. We strive for this truth until death. He's gonna fight for us. That was it.
I got this down. Psalms 91. Psalms 91:1. He that dwelleth in the secret place of the Most High shall abide under the shadow of the Almighty. I will say of the Lord, He is my refuge and my fortress, my God, in Him will I trust. So yeah, the secret place, all right, basically the truth, all right, dwelling in it, all right, the one you're constantly, you know, watching, all right. It says, shall abide under the shadow of the Almighty. Basically, you're going to be protected, you know, by Yahweh, by Hashem Yahushua, all right. I will say of the Lord, He is my refuge and my fortress, my God, in Him will I trust. Surely He shall deliver thee from the snare of the fowler, and from the noisome pestilence, all right? You know, from, you know, Esau's traps out here, all right? And from the noisome pestilence, all right? You know, the nuclear missiles, all right? That's that ultimate plague. That's that last plague that Yahweh Shema is about to send upon America, you know? It says, he shall cover thee with feathers, and under his wings thou shalt trust. His truth shall be thy shield and buckler. See? So, hey, you know, because, hey, what does the scripture say? Wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of thy tongue. You know, so, hey, this truth is very important. You know, because this is the only thing that's going to, this is the only thing that we're going to have, you know, in the times to come. Not your woman, all right? Not no food, all right? Not your house, not your money, all right? You're not going to be able to rely on nothing but Yahweh Shem Shah's words, you know, to keep you stable in that day, you know? It says, thou shalt not be afraid for the terror by night, nor for the arrow that flieth by day, nor for the pestilence that walketh in darkness, nor for the destruction that wasteth at noonday. 1,000 shall fall at thy side, and 10,000 at thy right hand, but it shall not come nigh thee. So see, hey, we're about to see all the mass majority of people to die around us. All right, and guess what? We're not going to be touched. All right, of course, we're going to have to go through our personal, you know, hell, all right, you know, the personal fire that Yahweh Shema Shah is setting up, you know, for each of us, you know, but the judgments that the Lord is about to put upon the masses, hey, we're going to be good, you know. We're not going to die of famine, you know. What does it say? At destruction and famine thou shalt laugh. You know,
still
so
on that sickness 15 too, right? I'm just 'Cause we was just really just supposed to get the precepts we called before that, and then go with that, but, you know, it's all good, go ahead.
I mean, we go on it right now.
Finish your point, what you said.
That's pretty much it.
Come.
Go ahead, jump to 2 Ezra 15. Okay. You start up a bit. Yeah, this is 2 Ezra chapter 15, starting at verse 14. It says, "Woe to the world and them that dwell therein, for the sword and their destruction draweth nigh, and one people shall stand up and fight against another, and swords in their hands."
Alright, that's happening right now.
Yep.
I mean, come on. We seen the TikTok video where they showed that they was all in the ice. Who was fighting ice? Was it the Haitians?
Oh yeah.
They was trying to grab somebody and it was like snatch. It was just kind of like pandemonium.
Yeah.
And all the ice ages, I ain't seen one that wanted to eat a mic.
Yep. Yeah.
Not saying you know how Esau's different groupings are. You got different little mingled in there, but I seen straight Edomites.
Yep.
Mainly Florida.
In Florida, damn. What about? Oh, that's where the alligator
DeSantis.
Alcatraz at.
Yeah.
DeSantis. Yeah.
DeSantis, he the one that's he the one that enforces the TPS down in Florida real heavily. That's why a lot of the videos are down there, see the palm trees and shit. It's down in Florida. And then alligator Alcatraz is just another concentration camp they opened up for northern tribes and southern tribes.
Yeah.
Especially the way y'all escape concentration camp. And he's
Exactly.
bragging about it.
Yep.
Yeah. He's all giddy yesterday, man, doing that, like a groundbreaking ceremony, you know, showing it to the president. Yeah.
What, DeSantis?
Yeah.
Yeah, he was like, they escaped there, the alligators waiting on them.
Mm-hmm.
So basically, you know, well, it says in, what's that, Sirach 12, that they not be satisfied with blood, refuge. So, there you go. They want to destroy your tribes.
Yeah.
And then Jake give him a reason. Well, Esau manipulate Jake into giving him a reason. Because them goddamn Haitians there in Florida is crazy, man.
Yep.
Julio, Fulio, all them niggas.
Yeah.
Them niggas is Haitian.
Yep.
They'll tell you, Haiti. Look, well, Florida got a little Haiti.
Right. Yep.
There's plenty Haitians in Florida. And doing all that wild shit, glorifying it, pissing on motherfuckers' graves and shit.
Yep.
Digging the bodies out the graves, doing all that weird shit.
Uh-huh.
And Esau controlled the music business, right?
Yep.
So all that shit, how you niggas allowed to do all that shit?
Right.
All the shit, but when it comes to that music shit, Esau allows all that shit. He controls all that shit. And that's what he put forth. So now he can be just what the accuser of our brethren,
Yep.
or woe to them that put thy bottom to thy neighbor,
That's right.
and drink and become naked. So now you can point the finger, ooh, look what the nigga, you got them doing that,
Right.
nigga.
Right.
So now you justified in your plans against the children. Like, no, nigga, the Most High not mine.
Yeah. They in there rapping about everything they doing.
Yeah.
I'll be locked up.
Yeah.
Proverbs 26, he that rolleth the stone, it shall return upon him.
Mm-hmm.
So, hey, Esau is setting up all these stumbling blocks for Jake to commit iniquity, but the Lord, he sees all. All right, he sees that you laying the traps, laying the stumbling blocks to make the Lord's people go off against them. All right, that's one of the charges that the Lord's gonna hold against you, man. Whether you know it or not.
Further the affliction.
Yep.
2 Ezra 15 and 16, it says, "For there shall be sedition among men, and invading one another. They shall not regard
The sedition gonna come because people gonna have enough, man.
Yep.
Like Esau just look. If this was like 50 years ago, niggas would have been riding.
Oh yeah.
Niggas would have been protesting and like meaningful type shit.
Yeah.
But there's so many distractions now. You know, life's so hard to live. And I'm like, man, I can't protest. I got work in the morning.
Yeah.
Shit, I'm on the fucking fix.
Yeah.
What's
Hey,
that, the
nigga.
80s? In the 80s? You said 25,
I
50
said
years ago?
about 50, 60, maybe
That's the
60s,
80s, 70s, yeah.
maybe more than that then.
Yeah.
Cause that's when they really started getting Jake.
Yeah.
There's so many, everybody on so many drugs now.
Mm-hmm.
Food so high, you depend on the school to give your baby 2 meals a day.
Yep.
Yep. They even
Yeah.
give you for summer. They even give you a little food stamp EBT card with like $125 on it for you to get, for food or whatever. That's just, back to your point.
Well, the last
Yeah,
rising.
but to prove, back 50, 60 years ago, Jake was kind of at the peak of the tolerance. They were kind of like almost like
Had it up to here.
Yeah, like had it up to here with Esau's bullshit. Like the brother said, but there's so many distractions. Jake has got so many benefits over the years. Now they kind of docile back down.
But they gonna get roused back up.
Mhm.
Like the scripture said, who
Who
shall rouse him up? Like an old lion, he couched down. Like, I'm tired of being fierce.
Yep.
Like you get tired. Like you get tired of fighting. That happened to Gad, man. Geronimo and them, man. Fighting on the run, motherfucker. Just like, look, man, what's up, man?
Right.
You just want to chill, but like the Lord, like, nope. Lord said, I'm gonna rouse them up, and then the sedition, everybody gonna be roused up. Esau, wait a minute, I'm white,
Right.
magnetic.
Right.
You can't do this to me. I have rights. They'll be going upside Esau's fucking head. Watch.
Yep.
That's when it's done. Esau ain't gonna take that shit. He ain't gonna go up Esau's head.
Right.
You see what happened when they be having them standoffs? The police with Esau.
Yeah.
Esau got his gun, and the police be like,
just don't shoot.
trying to be diplomatic.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Esau be in that mode. Say it again.
Like Oregon.
Oregon.
Remember Oregon? The ones that had the standoff with the Fed.
Yeah, that happened some years ago. By what? 4? By
4, 5.
yeah. And then with
Walking
what?
up to him.
Did nobody go to jail?
Nope.
They came to a fucking agreement. You saw you ain't. What did he say? Out of my cold dead hands.
Yeah.
Doing all this gun confiscation shit. They trying to make his old motherfucking man. He saw that. What? His lesson?
Yeah.
Nigga, you already got the fucking mega gun. I can't have a little one?
Right.
Nah, Esau ain't going for that shit.
They say the same shit every time. I have the right to exercise my Second Amendment.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
That's what it say.
It's for them. It's
That's why they, that's
Bill
why
of
they,
Rights.
that's why the NRA, and other gun lovers, I forget the other organizations, but that's why they want to give their rights. Because remember, like the past 10, 15 years, what's been going on is what the government trying to take away those right to bear arms.
Yep.
And that was the whole reason why that amendment was set there. Just in case the government was on some polluted shit, you got the right to fight against it.
Yep.
So they can try to take away the ability of the citizens to fight back, and they haven't happened because they know.
Out of the biggest donor, Amalek, it was them, the NRA, to all these political campaigns.
And they ran all this shit.
Yeah.
They was behind, fucking the Confederate. When they was setting up the Confederate, that was all fucking smart hats. And they didn't get their way. The Civil War, they didn't get their way. That's why they set up the fucking even the Klansmen to terrorize Jake still.
Yep.
Cause they losing their money. I'm like all about their fucking money. So they lose that money, they ready to go to war.
Where they say gold is God and the Jew is his prophet, something like that. Money is God and the Jew is his prophet, something like that.
Yep. Back in the second Edges 15:16, it says, "For there shall be sedition among men, and invading one another."
So the brother spoke on the civil unrest, and then also sedition goes into violent strife when you go into etymon. Because a result of civil unrest, you have violence. And it says in Revelation 18, what thus shall, with great violence shall Babylon fall. And that's going to be the beginning of that violence, the fucking civil unrest, going against the government.
The government.
Yeah.
You're gonna see that too. Once these bills really kick in, that these senators have just passed and stuff, you're gonna see a lot of civil unrest because really they feel pretty much make Americans homeless.
Yeah.
Yeah, big beautiful bill.
That big beautiful bill is pretty much gonna make all Americans homeless. So you're gonna see civil unrest very quickly too. Because I think it kicks in when in August or something, or that bill goes right into effect as soon as he signs.
Yeah, I was reading on it too. You gonna say something else?
No, I was just gonna say I just seen him pass. I think they said it goes in effect when he said he was gonna sign it into law Monday.
Yeah.
The video I seen.
It goes to that bill goes to it takes away a lot of what Kai was going to those gifts and trinkets, those things that Esau was giving you to survive. He taking them away.
Yeah, no health care.
No.
No, if you get Medicaid or something like that, you can't miss an appointment.
Yeah.
Social Security,
Mhm.
they try to cut that at 50%.
Yeah.
Welfare, you might as well just throw welfare out the door. Cause you bitches ain't work. So therefore you ain't gonna be able to get no fucking food stamps and shit and cash assistance.
And then people gonna be stubborn. You know, people stubborn too. Cause I saw a video. This woman was complaining. She was like, "I'm on Section 8. I got 6 kids.
Yeah.
I am not going to work."
Yeah. I'm allergic to her.
Like motherfuckers is like, and this was the one I seen. It was an Edomite.
Yeah. She's allergic.
Yeah, well, majority of them are on it.
The majority of them, yeah. So it's like motherfuckers, like, because these people don't know, so they think that the government do something, and you go tit for tat. Well, they do this, I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna go around. I'm gonna block. No, nigga, they gonna hit you in your head.
Yeah.
You gonna get oopsed upside the head.
Yeah.
And when people start seeing that,
Yeah.
like, oh, like,
Shit.
cause you know what niggas say. You get to talking to a nigga about, yeah, they blah blah blah. Man, they can't do that.
Right, yeah.
Oh, you about to see.
Yeah.
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 Yeah. Let me see what they gonna do.
They about to start hitting niggas with garbage cans.
Yeah.
Jay gonna be fat me greasy.
Yeah.
That's like that nigga one was talking about, yeah, if you just see me walking out the store with some shit, don't say nothing. Blame to call Trump. You know, okay,
They gonna
They gonna hit you in your fucking head.
Yeah. Have you leaking.
They gonna keep hitting you.
Yeah.
Even after you did.
They gonna Sandra Bland that bitch.
Right.
Cause it says in Isaiah 32, they should lament for the deeds.
Mhm.
Yep.
That's a direct benefit's gonna fucking just straight up fail. Which is we say vengeance in the scriptures, but that's your fucking welfare assistance, the SNAP, EBT, all that shit.
Yep.
There's a lot of women on there because that was really set up for Edomites.
Yep.
But when they seen Jake partaking in it, it's like, okay, let's experiment on these niggas, kick out their husbands, fathers and shit, and then destroy the Jake community, especially Judah. But that shit, hey man, that shit is going now. A lot of you single women out there, it's gonna be over, man.
Yeah, and then they all roommates and shit with each other.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Y'all gonna pile up. Look, they all roommates, but then one lose their job.
Yeah.
Cause they losing all these jobs.
Yeah.
So you gonna be like, alright, bitch, look. You ain't got your half for the rent.
Yeah.
DI.
Cause ain't no love in this place.
Yeah.
The love of many show wax cold.
Yeah.
So it's like, if you can't help the next person, or if you can't be abusive, motherfuckers ain't finna bear your weight, carry your load.
Nope. Figuratively or
Figuratively
or
or literally.
literally.
Indubitably. It's inevitable.
And that the course's action shall stand in the power thereof. That's gonna get a lot of niggas fucked up. Cause they really gonna thinking like, oh, I have rights, I have this, you can't do this to me. That's gonna get a lot of people just killed off GP.
Yeah.
And that's when people really gonna realize like, damn, this shit real. Like if I got a gun and I'm strong, I'm better. What is it, Matilda? I'm stronger than you, I'm bigger than you, I'm better than you.
I'm big and you're small.
Yeah. I'm big and you're small, you know, and a lot of people when they arguing with these troops or something, and just somebody like, okay. Pow!
Right.
It's going like, oh, gee, you can't do, that's murder, you can't do that.
Hey,
Pow! You know,
Hey, something similar that happened recently. Cause you can kind of like, you could talk a little shit to the police.
Yeah.
Like, and it was like the
was it 2 couples?
Yeah,
Yeah. They was all, y'all seen that.
Yeah. There was a whole bunch of police doing something,
Mhm.
and they was talking a little shit, and the police was ignoring them, like whatever, because they can't really do
Right.
nothing.
Right.
You can say a little shit.
Right.
Then the police just changed his mind. He's like,
Yep.
you know what? Arrest them.
Yeah.
They was like, what? They was shocked. He's like, yeah, arrest them.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
I was just recording.
Yeah. No, arrest them.
You going to jail now?
Yeah, go on to jail.
I remember in Indianapolis, y'all seen when right when they did the Trump shit, no King protest, like.
Oh yeah, last Saturday, right?
Yeah, or maybe the
Or
week
2
before,
Saturdays.
It was another 2 with the immigrant hypocrite shit too. Anyways, the officer goes up with that assault gun. He hits him in the chest a bunch of times. She said, "What am I even doing?" They just snatch his ass up and throw him on the fucking ground. He got lawsuit going, but the guy
Hit
was
him
on
with
that.
assault gun.
Yeah, it was like it was a rifle, but it was like some non-lethal shit.
Oh.
Popped him all up in the chest. He was like, "What?" He said, "I ain't doing that." So that, that's what pissed the cops off.
Uh-huh.
They slammed his ass on the ground and shit.
They got mad they didn't do nothing to him.
Yeah.
Big swole ass Jake.
Yeah.
Yeah, you mentioned lawsuits on that. Shalom. Lawsuit on that. That's one of the things that was passed too. It's like first of all, they taken out the lower courts. So when they come up with a decision, that decision is only for the people that filed. It does not
Exactly.
It don't set the precedence for other states.
Yep, it's singular. Yep.
And then you can only get that like that with the class action lawsuit.
And that
No,
take
those
months.
take-
It
Yep.
take a while.
Yep.
Might even take a year. Go ahead.
I mean, Timmy was going to yesterday how they passed all these laws here in Indiana, right? They passed laws in Illinois too, and gas went up by like 43%, tobacco went up by 43%. So you gotta look, it's just not here, it's Iowa, and it's a couple of other states where they pretty much increased everything. So Esau is gonna basically bring all these different laws in, take away everything, and pretty much what we always talk about, you're gonna work and have nothing, cause you're barely gonna be able to make it. You're not gonna be able to go get them packs of cigarettes, $20-something down in Chicago.
You know what? They gotta balance it because the Midwest is the cheapest place to live.
Yeah.
Like when you look at the top 10 cheapest states to live in, the
Indiana.
majority of them is like Indiana in there, West Virginia in there,
Great Lakes states.
I think Iowa in there. And a lot of people doing what from the east and the west, they flooded to the Midwest.
Yeah, so that's why they increased everything.
You got motherfuckers all in Cali in this motherfucker.
Yeah. That's true.
Like, damn, you know, because California is hard to. You got a lot of people from Cali here. You got a lot of people from New York.
Yeah.
The east, they converge in the Midwest too.
So you really been, like I said the other day, real strategic. He's strategic with his attacks. First, he made your state change all their laws and increase everything because gas is going to go up here. All things are going to increase. Food, we talked about that a couple months ago. Food's going to increase real heavy. They're going to do the same thing in the other states. So the people that do have a so-called job and they like you got no damn job, is what we are. All you gonna do is pay bills. And hopefully you can make it to work.
Work till you die.
You know, yeah. So Esau is going him get prepared to push his ultimate agenda. He's gonna put you Negro Latinos and Native Americans back up against the wall to what? To depend on him for the MOTB, man.
And even his own people.
And his own people.
Because in the Talmud it say, like even Amalek, like if some of them gotta die for the greater good, that's in their Talmud too. So Amalek could even go, hurt his own to forward the, plans and agendas and shit.
He that is evil to himself, to whom will it be good?
Yeah, because I've seen here recently, there's some low level you wish people out here too.
Yeah.
Low level motherfucker. I'm like, oh damn, what's the name? Yeah.
Yeah.
The whole deal, they low level, they underneath us. I'm like, damn. God.
I got into it with one at the job a couple of years ago. I'll tell you about it.
Yeah.
Excuse me.
Yeah, we're gonna get a few more. Go ahead, Hardabby, yeah, precept.
2 Timothy 3
Hardabby.
and 1 on the NLT. It says the dangers of the last days. You should know this, Timothy, that in the last days there will be very difficult times. So this is what's going on. Very difficult times.
Yeah.
People gonna be astonished at all the the difficult times they're having. Because it says in Luke 21 about the perplexity. Right, it's gonna be abundant these people. Right?
Even go ahead.
It also says what these, we're going to wars, rumors of wars, famine, passing number what? These are they said but the end is not yet, or this is just the beginning.
Yeah.
Beginning of sorrows.
I couldn't think of these are the beginning of sorrows. So just think how this little stuff gonna jump off now. But think about when he pushes narrative even more and more and more. We talking about what's just gonna happen at the beginning of him pushing this narrative. The devil gonna continue to push, man, until he can't push no more.
That's why they said, why do I see every man with their hands on their loins like a woman in travail? When you look up a woman in travail, it means no. That's the literal meaning, but the figurative meaning is
Oh, to my, I forget the term for
Like
I'm bringing it out right now.
water break, you know what's coming, you can't stop it.
I'm gonna bring it out right now. It says, travailing woman most commonly refers to the intense pain and struggle of a woman in childbirth. But the term can also be used figuratively to describe difficult or painful experiences in other contexts, such as spiritual travail or intense suffering. So that's what's coming to the earth, man. There's gonna be some intense suffering. And it's like, you gotta go through that intense suffering before you achieve. You know what I'm saying? It's like an obstacle course. But the thing is, them motherfuckers ain't gonna, everybody don't finish the obstacle course. Them motherfuckers ain't gonna do it. Them motherfuckers gonna fall in the mud. You know, like a pitfall or some, no, what's the move? Raiders of the Lost Ark. You got to do all this little shit. Did your ass get caught by a swinging blade or? So, yeah, the perilous times, travail as a woman, that intense pain, intense struggle. You know, a lot of women down at the childbirth table. Yeah, they stop wanting to push. Shit.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
That was finishing off the second Edges 15:16, it says, "They shall not regard their kings nor princes, and the course of their actions shall stand in their power."
You're gonna see that.
Mm-hmm.
You know, because you see it already. What happened to that senator that got killed? That guy dressed up as a cop and went in there and killed the senator and her husband, killed and shot the other two. You know, in Minnesota. You know, those the senator is considered what a high-ranking position here, aka Babylon.
Yeah, it's a government official.
And look, if they didn't catch him, he had a whole list of everybody else that he wanted to go after, man.
A couple years ago, they burned one of them in effigy. One of the governors of one of them states. I don't know if it was Mitt Romney. It was somebody that ran for president, but they fucking, you know, what burned in effigy is they make a fucking like a scarecrow impersonation of the person and burn it.
Voodoo doll type.
Yep. They had surrounded one of their houses and shit. And was trying to do something, so.
These people not gonna care about the police. See, that's why they're gonna have to bring that army in. Okay? Because the police won't be, look, if the average American is gonna be trying to survive, what should the cop gonna be trying to do?
You know, they've been started that, especially over in Illinois, particularly Chicago, where they don't come out, the car police, they don't come out for certain cars. Malcolm brought that out, because it was like, in the video he did, he was a woman calling police, boyfriend, it was a domestic situation, and they didn't come out, and he ended up deleting her.
It's in that big bill too that they were gonna take away the police.
That's what I'm saying, they already been in small pockets of the country. They've been doing it. So now it's gonna be like a mass thing across the states. So that's gonna be coming. That's what that script is speaking to, though, like you're saying. You know, there's no law enforcement call. Like even like people can call 911 and hope for they get there on time.
Yeah.
But shit, when there's no 911 to call,
It's gonna be anarchy.
fucking
Every man for
just
themselves.
straight up death out here. Fuck anarchy gonna be death out here.
Yeah.
Because a lot of these fucking dudes married these women. A lot of these dudes fucking ain't had no box. So ravaging motherfuckers.
A lot of these dudes emotional.
Yep.
So they already on edge about. A lot of these young generation ain't got no fucking hope in life, period.
None.
So what the fuck is gonna be, to them? Either might especially, they ain't got no fucking, cause Jake took over all the jobs. They been claiming about this for like the last 4 or 5 years.
They took our jobs.
And women. They've been claiming about their jobs as women, so now, them either might, and they learn how to shoot guns early. They already fucking ready for that. While Jake learned how to fucking throw on a fucking fitted cap. Got some whole ass jeans.
And some tattoos.
I mean,
Some dreads.
So hey, these times gonna come where our people, matter of fact, I got a precept that brings out Bible shop.
Just close it out on that.
Ezekiel 6 and 10 on the NLT says, they will know that I am alone, they will know that I alone am the Lord, and that I was serious when I said I would bring this calamity up on them. Because that's what's going on right now. Because how they know it's serious? Because shit is happening. And with all the tribes going through their bullshit, as far as getting deported, right? Now, Judah, the last tribe. That's why that bill was so important, that they're gonna start getting rid of the fucking Judite men that was convicted of or habitual offenders. But they already made Judah habitual offenders through the mass incarceration.
And this fucking devil, man, he'll bring up your juvenile shit.
Right.
He'll bring up your old shit. Esau shoot up a whole damn school, kill his mama. They showing his picture with a baseball bat.
Yeah.
Your ass, you done took a candy body. Well, he been the troubled youth his whole life.
They go into your parents, which dad was in jail, his mom.
Yeah.
The sad part is when you become 18, they really supposed to.
Man.
I'm just saying, though, that's what they
They
said.
try you as an adult when you're like 16, 17.
They said that now too.
They've been doing that.
Yeah,
This is Jason. I was growing up. That was older than me. They would wait. I got a cousin that did that too. They wait till your ass turn a certain, like 16 and 9 months, and then, or you can be tried as an adult, give them the fucking full extent of law.
Yeah, they'll wait up. Yeah. They'll
So
wait
they've
up.
been doing that. That was fucking. I was like 6, 7 years old. Early fucking 90s. You know, so they've been doing that shit. So you 18, nigga, your ass is gonna go to fucking alligator Alcatraz.
And then they're not even, all that shit ain't gonna matter.
Right.
It's gonna be, all that shit ain't gonna, look, the devil coming down with great wrath when he got a little time.
Yep.
All that precedent and laws and the what they call it, the way that shit set up, the order, the right orders, the step one,
Due
man,
process.
that due process, due process, plea, all that shit, you know, motherfuckers gonna get executed on the spot.
Yep.
They got motherfucking portable guillotines.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, that article that came out like towards the end of 2020, I believe, that was talking about Trump was trying to bring back all these forms of execution.
Yeah.
The guillotine was on there. I think the gas chamber was on
Firing
there.
squad.
Fire
They
squad,
all back.
Yeah.
electric chair.
Yep.
Iowa just passed it. Iowa just passed it. The number one execution for Iowa is number one along with electric chair is what is this? Firing squad. They just passed that in Iowa.
Hell, they just did one in what, North Carolina, a few months back.
Shit, man. He saw fuck around, throw Jake in a den of alligators. Shit, this shit.
Yeah.
Well, they already got that.
Now you got it.
It says,
Okay, this is the last one for real.
they would, no, I ain't.
Oh, okay, go ahead.
Says they will know that I alone am the Lord, that I was serious when I said I would bring this calamity on them. This is what the sovereign Lord says. Clap your hands in horror and stamp your feet. Cry out because of all the detestable sins the people of Israel have committed. Now they are going to die from war and famine and disease.
You see, that Ezekiel was prophesying that the Babylonians will come against Jake. So this is generations back. You see, the scriptures tell us that which has been is that which shall be. You see, so we come into a time like never before. All right, the modern day Babylonians, all right, Edom, all right, they want to bring the same shit upon you. Which the Lord, He's doing it through them.
Yeah.
You know, but it's gonna be on, for lack of a better term, steroids this time around. Man.
Yeah, well, what did that woman say? God, that Judith Varney Short. The number one problem for Israel is the black youth of America. You got people over there shooting missiles at you.
And your number one problem
And your number one problem is people who ain't got nothing.
is the Israelites.
Yeah.
Ain't that a bitch?
And Ezekiel prophesied in the captivity of Babylon. Just to throw that out.
So that's it on there.
Anybody got anything else they want to say? Add?
Jake, you better get yourself together. You want the supposed to be the part of the elect. Repent to Yahweh Hashem Yahushua. Death and destruction is coming here to the earth.
Yep.
You're not going to be able to survive this on your own. You're going to need the help of Yahweh Hashem Yahushua. And if you think you don't, go ahead and get death and destruction with the rest of the world.
Yep. Said he does not bear that sword in vain, man.
Close his album.
All right. So with that, we hope this lesson was edifying to the elect body of the nation of Israel. Once again, we're going to give all praise and glory and honor to
Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem HaKadosh.
Double honors to our apostles and elders of Great Millstone who were well in teaching us this 100% truth. Salutations to them and our fellow Akim who labor in this truth week in and week out on the highways and byways. Also salutations to the hopeful elect of the scattered 12 tribes of Israel, scattered to the four corners of the earth, that be like it to the speckled bird. To you we say Shalom.
Shalom.
Kwam Yasharala.
Kwam Yasharala.
Baba Ball.
Baba Ball.
We got next.
Let's go.
Permanently.